Hi, it's Alan from Crashtest Security. I will tell you 5 ways to screw up your website security in this video. So let's get started. This was a lot of fun. Ask a DevSecOps engineer, how do I screw up my website security? You better take a seat because the answer will take a while. In short, there are lots of ways your security can go wrong. Some mistakes are more critical than others. And while many of the pitfalls are widely known, nothing stays still. New vulnerabilities are discovered daily. If you are not a developer, some of these issues may be too technical. Some essential starting points would be HTTP versus HTTPS. We have also written a piece on the cybersecurity basics. This is also a distilled version. If you have other ways to screw up your website security, please let us know. I'd love to hear. WordPress has made it extremely easy to create a website. For developers and non-developers alike, it grants the ability to scale with endless plugins and templates to complement whatever type of website you're building. However, the accessibility of WordPress creates some pretty severe vulnerabilities, not to mention any vulnerabilities potentially lurking in the plugins or themes you are using within your site. Here are just a few examples. Exploiting the XMLRPC on all WordPress versions. XMLRPC on WordPress is an API that allows developers who make third-party applications. XMLRPC is included on all standard WordPress packages, but opens up 2 kinds of attack vectors. XMLRPC pingbacks. Brute force attacks via XMLRPC. According to the Hacker News, the vulnerability resides in the way LoadScripts, a built-in script in WordPress CMS, processes user-defined requests. However, to make LoadScripts work on the admin login page, before login, WordPress authors did not keep any authentication in place, eventually making the feature accessible to anyone. Using a simple script, you can begin to force LoadScripts to call all JavaScript files in one go. In short, it's a lightweight DOS attack that can take down your website with minimal effort. Does WordPress power your site? For a small business with limited resources, covering the basics, updating versions, patches, only using reputable plugins, should be a good start. More advanced developers and cybersecurity professionals should treat WordPress like any software tool and stay up to date with the latest patch releases and news on CVEs. If WordPress powers your site, our scanner will pick up any CVEs associated with versions, and a free quick scan only takes a minute. There is a strong possibility that your website provides a download link for some form of content, e.g. brochure, white papers, etc. If the web application doesn't check the requested file, this functionality can download all files, including your most sensitive ones. InfoSec Institute. InfoSec Institute has a comprehensive guide on arbitrary file download and how to prevent it. You can check it on their website. Uploading functionalities can also expose you to critical vulnerabilities. With an unrestricted file upload, an attacker could upload a web shell. With a web shell, the attacker can execute any command on the system. Weebly3 is an example of such a web shell. The consequences range from bad to worst. System takeover, defacement, and overloaded databases are all potential outcomes. The OWASP guide has a wealth of knowledge on potential attack vectors and steps to protect yourself from unrestricted file uploads. Insecure deserialization is an attack where a manipulated object is injected into the web application context. It is not a particularly common vulnerability, but if exploited, it can lead to remote code execution, one of the most severe attacks your web application can face. Security assessment of insecure deserialization. You can scan your web application for insecure deserialization using the Crashtest Security Suite. When testing for insecure deserialization vulnerabilities, it is best to scan your application in a dynamic state. As a DAST, Dynamic Application Scanning Testing Tool, we view your application the same way an attacker would. Read more about insecure deserialization, remediation, and prevention tips on our wiki. XML, External Entity Processing. Many older or poorly configured XML processors evaluate external entity references within XML documents. External entities can disclose internal files using the file URL handler, internal file shares, internal port scanning, remote code execution, and denial of service attacks. OWASP has produced an XML external entity cheat sheet to help you prevent what could be a critical vulnerability. You can also detect XXE vulnerabilities with the Crashtest Security Suite. Try Crashtest Security today to discover how it integrates into your development stack for efficient, automated vulnerability scanning. The trial is free. Also, subscribe to the Crashtest Security Channel to get more information about the most significant web security threats, their prevention, and how to use the Crashtest Security Suite. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.